Hi guys, this is Taylor. This is the evening of Saturday, March 28th, and as with absolutely everywhere else on Earth, things have been pretty weird here. I haven't posted a video in a while, even before the coronavirus started to really ramp up here. Things were really up and down for the beginning of 2020, so I apologize for that. But for anyone who might be watching this video and who might not have watched my channel before, hi, my name is Taylor. I have worked in a public library in Connecticut for the past 5.5 years, and I wanted to make this video to show what things have been like working in a public library during the coronavirus pandemic. So before I really get into things, I just want to address something important, and that is that I am staying as safe as possible. Obviously, the big social push during this pandemic has been to stay home and to work remotely, but only a very small aspect of my job could conceivably be done remotely. And even if I were to do that part of my job from home, it's sort of reliant on other people being in the building to then complete the next part of the job. In addition, and I think a lot of people know this, but I just want to be clear, the reality for many workers who are paid hourly and who are not given paid leave is that we're still working as many hours as we can and just trying to be as safe as possible. But that's another conversation entirely. So as I've said, today is March 28th, which means that my library has been closed to the public for about 2 weeks now. For the first week that we were closed to the public, we still had the majority of staff working, but for the past week, we've been operating with maybe 4 to 5 people in the building at any given time, including myself. And then this upcoming Monday will be my last day working at the library for at least a couple weeks, maybe more, we're not sure yet. So again, as you can imagine, for the past few weeks at the library, things have not been operating as they usually do. First things first, the last day that we were open to the public was maybe one of the busiest days we've had in several years. We had so many patrons come in to, get their own materials for their own personal quarantines. What you're looking at here is a photo of part of our new fiction section, and this shelf is usually packed. Like, sometimes there isn't really room on these shelves for like face out books, so I think it's safe to say that this shelf in particular was decimated, which is fine with me. We pretty much encourage this. And then now that we're closed, we do still have our book drops open, and I think this is a measure taken to prevent all of these returns from coming back all at once when we eventually do open again. I can tell you just from experiences with long weekends, when we're closed Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then open back up on the Tuesday, just the accumulated returns from those 3 days is usually enough to back up the library for the better part of a week. So I can only really imagine what it's going to be like for libraries that are not keeping their book drops open for maybe several months. I can't even really imagine. But for us, we have been emptying our book drops usually multiple times a day, and when we do that, we are of course wearing gloves. And then what happens is we take those returns and we put them onto a book cart. We've been using this one book cart in particular that someone drew like a biohazard symbol on, and then we take that book cart and we wheel it to the circulation desk where the returns are checked in, also by people wearing gloves. And I should mention at this point that we've pretty much waived all of our late fines, and we will be doing so for the foreseeable future until we open back up, and probably some time after that as well, because it literally doesn't matter at this point. Now, the next part has probably been what has been the most interesting to me. From what we've heard at this point, the virus is said to be able to live on surfaces for up to 3 days. So what we've done is we've basically transformed our reference room into a quarantine area. After the books are checked in, they are then wheeled into the reference room and put onto a table altogether, where they then sit for at least 3 days and no one touches them. We also put a little sign on those materials and say, these materials were checked in on such and such a day. After that period, we then take a clean, non-biohazard cart and take those returns out of quarantine and shelve them as usual. And that has been my routine at work for the last 2 weeks or so. One of the stranger aspects of this time period that I did not really anticipate was just the reality of working in an almost completely empty library. Especially for the past few days, most of the staff who have been in the building are more administrative staff, so there have been very, very few people in what are usually the more populated parts of the library, and it's been totally bizarre. We are also not turning on lights in areas where we're not working. So that has been kind of spooky. But as I've said, this upcoming Monday will be my last day at work for a while, so I'm kind of making this video and including these clips just as much for my reference as for yours. But I hope you found this interesting. It has definitely been an interesting time to work. I sincerely hope that you're all staying healthy and you're able to make ends meet and just to be as comfortable as possible during this time. I'm not exactly sure what my next video is going to be, but I do hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy and be well. Bye!